What should you be looking for when you are acting in a church security role and you want to make sure to keep the congregation safe from threats? Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Howell. I'm the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. The purpose of this video is to answer a question from a viewer who has reached out and asked about identifying potential threats in a church security role. Folks, there are entire novels written, entire books written, total training programs written on how to identify a potential threat. And when it comes to a church security role, somebody that is likely to shoot other people in a church, it's not going to go through a series of escalations. They're not going to start out as an ordinary individual, become agitated, and then start shooting. That doesn't happen. The attacker who wishes to cause mass casualty typically will be an individual with some distinct mental issues, and they will, as we call it, they will snap, and they will make the decision to do as much damage as they can. And this individual is going to take one of two primary appearances, and this is what you need to be looking for. So the person that wrote in, that's a viewer of this channel, said that he was working in a church security role, and he saw somebody that he had never seen at church before, and he was just really mindful of this person. He was just worried that they were a threat, and a fellow team member was not as worried because this person was not showing any threatening behavior. And he was just really concerned that this person was going to cause trouble, and it wound up that the person did not cause any trouble whatsoever. And he wanted to know, how could he tell when there was a threat versus when there wasn't? This is a very complex question, especially in the auspices of a church security role. Why? Well, number one, because folks need Jesus. I need Jesus, you need Jesus, and the people coming in the church, they need Jesus too. And so you don't want to turn away a person just because you haven't seen them at your church before. Most churches I've seen want to attract new congregants. And the last thing you need is some church security person side-eyeing somebody or giving them some kind of a glare or looking at them weird because they're new. That's not at all what you want. What you want is to be warm and friendly. Have a smile on your face. Be glad to see them. Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Clay. How are you doing today? You know, that sort of thing. And to identify those two main threats that would be mass shooters, you've got to understand that 97% of the time a mass shooting happens in a place like a church, it starts outside and moves in. So you need somebody, and at my church we call it on post, that is watching the entrance to the church and is specifically looking for two things. You're looking for people that might be rummaging through cars, stealing things, because thieves target churches and they steal things out of cars while people are worshiping. And then the second thing that they're watching for is they're watching for that mass killer. And that mass killer coming from outside will, the vast majority of the time, be armed with a long gun, a rifle or a shotgun. And, you know, you will see them coming proverbially a mile off. So that one's pretty easy to spot. This could be somebody that's from the congregation. It may be somebody you've never seen before. Either is equally possible. The other kind of threat that you're going to deal with is going to be from somebody that you know, and this threat will come from within. And this is much less of the time. This will be 3 to 5% of the time at the most. And this person will be very, very, very disgruntled. That's what caused them to snap. You likely know who this person is, or at least several people in the church do. And this person is going to be displaying very odd behaviors. And this is going to be somebody that, like I said, they are known to people. You will have seen them in your church before. And then they will pull out a gun suddenly, and then they will start shooting. And it's generally, again, it's going to start with a long gun, a rifle, or a shotgun. And you need to make haste and engage that kind of a person just as quickly as possible, because in a church shooting scenario, on average, you have one person die about every 10 seconds while the shooting is going on. So they need to be engaged with force as fast as you can. What kind of behaviors are you going to be looking for? Well, again, we're dealing with somebody that's already inside. We're dealing with somebody that's supposed to be there. And we're dealing with somebody that has snapped mentally, but they haven't told you about it yet. So this person is going to seem extremely agitated. They might be rubbing their face. They may be rubbing their arms. They're going to be acting really just not comfortable in their skin. They may have hovering arms that are waving around, things of that sort. They're going to look more agitated than an agitated person will. And I say that because once you see a few videos like this, you'll be able to recognize what's happening very, very quickly. They may be wearing disguises or other things that just don't look appropriate, and these things should be communicated among the security team right away so that you can go in and have a talk with the person and, check out and see, their threat level to the church. In summary, it's not about seeing people you haven't seen before. It's about seeing people who are acting strange. They're doing things that just don't belong, things that indicate a severe amount of agitation. That's what you're looking for. Have you seen this happen in person? Tell me about it down below in the comments. Do you think I've got it wrong? I'd love to hear your opinion. Put it down there. I've served in a church security role in one way, shape, or form or another for the past 10 years, so it's something that I have done quite a bit. So I'd love to hear other voices, because the more we learn, the better we all get together. So that's always a plus. I'd like to encourage you to hit like, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can find out when the next Patriot Training video is being dropped. And as always, I will remind you, you don't have to be a Patriot to train, but you do have to train if you want to be a Patriot. Take care.